Hello YouTube, how are you doing? In this article I will tell you how to create a very basic graphical user interface using Python. Okay, so you must have the module called tkinter in your system. So remember that in Python 2 version, like currently I'm having Python 2.7. So here we have this module tkinter. Okay, so in Python 2.7, in Python 2 the module is capital T kinter, and in Python 3 it is lowercase t kinter. Okay, so you need to have that module if you are not having it. Okay, so let's create a very basic program, basic GUI.py. Okay, so as I told you, like you must have that tkinter module. So I need to import that module in our program to create any kind of graphical interface. So let's create a simple window. First of all, in that window we can add any components, any widget like a button or a label or a text box or anything. Okay, so let's create a window equal to tkinter dot tk is the method to create the window. Okay, and to launch that window we have to call the main loop method. So we call the main loop method. Okay, this is the main loop method. Okay, so I'm just setting the permission, execute permission on this program. Let's try to execute this. Okay, so you can see that a very basic window is created with no components. Okay, so you can you may see that there is a tk symbol at the top. Okay, so now I'll try to make a very basic modification. Let's give this window some dimensions. Let's say window dot geometry. Let's give it, let's say 300 cross 300. Let's make it a little bit bigger. Yeah. Okay, let's see how it looks now. Okay, so you can see it a little bit bigger. Okay, so this is how we create a small window. We'll try to add one button. Let's say, okay, we'll just put a button on this. Okay, so let's say button b1 equal to button dot. Okay, button. So there are three parameters for button. One is master. Master means where you are going to put the button. So I'll put the button in the window. So I'll put window, and then others are options. Options could be anything, like the properties of the button. Okay, like the text. What is the label of the text? So I can put like, okay, click me. Okay, and later we can have there are so many options, like background color, foreground color, or the border width, etc. Okay, I'll not put all of them now. We'll just put a very basic button. So to add this to add this button onto the window, we have to pack it. Okay, so just call the pack method. Okay, let's try to execute it. What is happening? I have some error here. Okay, let's see. Okay, so I think there is this should not be there. Let's see. Let's try to execute. Okay, button is not defined, so you have to use the tkinter. In that we have this button, right? So we have to call from that module. Okay, so now you see that the button is added to the window. So you can see there is nothing is happening when I click this button. Okay, the text is click me. So So let's add some functionality to this button. Okay, let's create a function. Okay, show message. Let's some it should, when I click the button, it should show some message. Okay, so like to display a message box, there is a module in here. We call it tk message box dot show info is the method to display the message box. And here you have to specify two things: the message title, which will be displayed as a title, and then the message, say hi. Okay, fine, right? So I think this is pretty much. Let's so as I told you, so the other option of the button is you have to specify the command equal to the function which will be called when we click the button. So I will add it to show message. I think that should work. Let's try it. I also don't know. Okay, so we have this button. Okay, see, okay, there is some error. TK message box is not defined. Okay, so I think I need to import it. Okay, fine. Import TK message box. And it should work this time. Okay, let's try to execute it. When we click the button, okay, we are getting this pop-up message. Title as the title of the message, and then the text, which is hi. Okay, so this is very basic. You can add several other stuffs like text box, a label also. Okay, so likewise you can add a text box or anything else. Let's add one more button here. Okay, let's say b2 equal to tkinter dot button. We'll add this button again to the same window. Okay, we'll put a text will be, let's say I want to exit from the program. Okay, exit. Okay, and then I want to call it call the exit program, so which will exit from the program when I click this button. Okay, so let's say I will create a method. So I'm calling this command. So let's define that method first here. Okay, def exit program. This is how we define a function in Python. You have to give colon after the method name, and then you have to ident to put anything inside the function. Okay, so what I will do is I'll close it. Okay, so what I'll do, window, which is the name of the window, dot destroy. So it will close the window, right? So fine. So let's try to run it. So we are calling this exit program when we click the exit button. Okay, so let's try to execute it. Okay, so you can see, okay, I don't see the button. That second button is not there, right? So as I told you, right, we have to call the pack method whenever you want to add a button. So when I call this pack method, I think it should be displayed here. Fine. So that's all. I think it should work with exit. So it's exiting from the program. So this is very basic, guys. You should try this. So you have to first of all import the modules. For tkinter is basic for everything, and then you have to, for message box, you have to import the tk message box. Then we are creating the window using the tk method of tkinter, and I'm giving a very basic geometry of 300 into 300. Then we have added one button to display a basic message, and then we have added another button to kill the program or to exit from the program. So this is now a very basic program. In the next module, I'll tell you other stuff, like how to create a text box, how to enter text into text box, etc. So that's all, guys. Thanks for watching. Thank you.